Hi, everybody. Mike Henson here with No More Excuses and ALS News Now. I know you all, or most of you, are going to see this on Saturday morning and wake up to this news. And I'll try to do this very carefully. And this is not a data fest. This is not going to be a huge presentation. We're going to have a special guest here in just a moment. But really, what I wanted to do was inform everybody, as Michelle already frankly has. But I felt like I owed this video to all of you because many of you have been here at No More Excuses from day one. And unfortunately, we've lost some people. And I think we're starting to see some real hope here, ladies and gentlemen. This evening, after 5 p.m., I don't know exactly what time it was, but on Friday, 12 August of 2022, Muscle and Nerve posted a document called an erratum, which is this document right here. This is it. I'm going to post the link where you can go down and you can look at this. This is basically a correction, is what it is. Right here, it says it's being published to ensure that the data is correct. You know, the original data, or that the article was published in March of 2022, to ensure that the data from the trial is shown correctly per the pre-specified analysis plan. And it says here that it originally had used an incorrect model and incorporated interaction terms between the subgroup and treatment. I'm not going to read all of this, so don't worry. You can see there's a number of corrections here, and especially in the data. But here's what it boils down to, guys, and I'll just show you this one table 4 here. But here's what she posted. Okay, the big news, guys. This is it. I'm going to just break it down for you. The trial, the phase 3 trial now has met statistical significance of p-value of 0.05. Pre-specified endpoint, secondary endpoint, pardon me, of 35 and above is met. NurOwn performed significantly better than placebo in people who are 27 and above. It looks great. And on average, people's ALSFRS were 1.94 to 2.86 points better in this chart I'm going to show you. Now, a couple of things. I should have probably said this first, but I'm not going to remake the whole video. But first of all, please understand this is our interpretation of these issues, mine especially, because Michelle's not here, obviously. She wrote this, and I would simply direct you to go see this, what she wrote. But it's great what she explains here. You can obviously see the full document. But to me, the way I see this is huge. It now means, essentially, in my interpretation, that NurOwn now has a positive phase 3 trial, which is huge. And the phase 2 trial was not powered for efficacy, but was also extremely promising, as you know. And safety of NurOwn has never been questioned by those who were in the trials, like myself, Bobby Forster, Nicole Simbiro's husband, Mike. So this is great news. Now, I want to be careful. This is not a BLA, but I hope and I think now we understand, perhaps after Brian Wallach's tweet today where he said the company has to be very careful about what it does. This is going to be a really difficult argument compared to some other drugs now to deny in any way that this therapy does not work. It does work. Look, patients here at No More Excuses have always known that. And this, to me, just simply provides the actual data, evidentiary data behind, and explains why what we saw in patients perhaps did not match what we saw on paper. And as you know, the FDA cares primarily about what's on paper. This trial has produced these kinds of results. Look at this chart, guys. This is amazing. And you can see people who were greater than or above 35 are now clinically significant over 28 weeks with a delta or a change of 2.09 points over 28 weeks. That is incredible. And as you can see, it's even better in some cases, going up to 2.86 here. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. This is a huge amount over 28 weeks. And now remember that we go all the way down here, and I think they put 26 in here just for clarification. You can see that at 0.25, it does not meet significance, but for people who are above 27, it certainly does. Now I want to really drill down on this, and this does not mean that NurOwn is not effective for people lower than that. Okay, so if you're already progressed substantially or getting there, as we know, Matt Bellina, I believe, and don't hold me to this, but he's publicly spoken about that. And that's the other thing. Everything I'm talking about here, guys, is about others is all public. We would never discuss somebody that's not already out there and obviously talking about it. Matt was in his lower to mid 20s at the time of receiving NurOwn at first. Maybe Matt can chime in and just clarify that, but Matt's now had 7 doses, as you know, and he's had some incredible results. Being able to lift himself out of that chair, which I think is what prompted Dr. Thacker's comment that, quote, "We see people getting better quickly. We just don't know how long they stay better." Well, of course, the argument to that is that you just keep giving people the drug, like Riluzole or like Edaravone or Radicava. You don't just give it to them for 28 weeks and then stop. You keep doing it. And this is how we're going to slow or defeat ALS. In my personal opinion, ladies and gentlemen, there will never be a single magic cure for ALS, okay? It means that you're going to have to, like HIV or some forms of cancer, you're always going to be treating ALS. This is absolutely incredible because if you think about this, everybody that's newly diagnosed is above 35, at or above 35. I guess I shouldn't say everybody because there are probably people who wait until it becomes way too late, frankly. But let's just say the vast majority of people are going to be diagnosed. I was 41 when I was diagnosed, and I was, I could barely walk at that point. 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, and 27 is where the cutoff is now, right here. Okay? Wow. I also want to be careful and very clear about this, that this is not the BLA. I think that, there's been a lot of debate over that, and I'm not even going to speculate on that because I just, it's dangerous, but I really don't see at this point where this ends in anything else except a filing, because Biogen, as you know, filed a BLA for tofersen on a fraction of the data, frankly, that I'm aware of. I think the time is here for everybody to unify behind and rally behind all of these drugs. This community, our members, myself personally on the AdCom call, we've all rallied around AMX 35. There's a huge opportunity right now, to set a lot of this right. We ask and we call on the entire ALS community to now accept this data for what it is, which is just further proof of what we've been saying for a long time, and to rally behind NurOwn. This group was founded around 3 drugs: copper ATSM, NurOwn, and Tregs. This was 3 years ago. We built No More Excuses around those 3 therapies because they had the best chance of being approved the quickest. And since that time, AMX 35, as you all know, kind of snuck in there. We think, and we still do, believe that drug should also be approved. And now NurOwn, with this latest release showing that it works, proving that it works. Not just showing it, proving it on paper. And as you know, we all know, the FDA has to see that. If we've learned anything from this journey, it is that no single drug is ever going to be the magic bullet. Okay? In my opinion, this is just about as good as we're going to get, because some people had tremendous responses, and you've seen them. This is a very exciting day. It'll be really interesting to see what happens Monday. All right, so let me go ahead and bring in now the man, the myth, and the legend, and of course his wife, who organized the first meeting that we had with the FDA in January, I think, of 2019. And then, of course, we had our second protest/meeting in June of 2019. So here he is. Craig, what's going on? And this is Craig and Nancy Reagan. How are you doing, buddy? And what do you think? Are you excited about this news? And like to hear from you.
This is incredible news.
It is.
This makes much more sense.
It kind of does, doesn't it? What's it mean after having fought, man, for 3 years to finally get some positive news? Now, we're not home free. I want to be clear. We're not, guys, this is not the BLA, all right? But this is good news. It means we have a positive trial. That's what it means to me. So what do you think?
It's
a positive trial.
Well, I agree, and that's the way I interpret it. And I really wanted our members to see you and to meet you a lot. You know, Craig, we have a lot of new members, as you know. Unfortunately, we've lost some, like Mark Berardi and, you know, Dr. Sinnott and others, you know. And again, I want to be clear, you know, NurOwn is not a cure, and this is not a BLA. But certainly the company has to now be thinking that the door's open now, right? I mean, what, you know, any brief thoughts on that?
This is all incredible news.
This is all incredible news.
Yeah.
Like Mike said,
this
is not a BLA.
This is not a BLA.
It's not a approval.
Not an approval.
That's right.
But it sure is a better grade of ammo.
But it sure is a better grade of ammo.
Spoken like a true Texan, my brother. And, you know, again, I wanted people to see you. And, you know, a lot of people don't know who you are maybe in the group. And it's been a while, you know, since they've been able to see you. And I'm glad they can see you. And I hope that this can unify the ALS community around NurOwn now. That we can end this debate over, hey, this drug doesn't work, there's no positive data.
That's a very good point.
That's a very good point.
That's really what this means to me. Is it's about trying to bring everybody together and, you know, and rally around it, another effective therapy for ALS. You think about this, Craig, if we have tofersen, if it can manage to sneak its way through approval, and then if NurOwn can be approved and if AMX35 can be approved, suddenly we got a whole different ballgame with the passage of the Act for ALS that Michelle and our members just totally blew out of the water, along with IMALS and others. You know, ALS, guys, ALS is finally moving, like for real. And this data, I pray and I hope, will encourage the company to finally move forward. And now I can kind of see why they've been taking their time. They've got to get this right.
Like
he said,
this certainly makes more sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. It does. It really does. It kind of explains some of the results we've seen in EAP and in both phase 2 and 3, doesn't it? I mean,
right.
It makes a lot more sense.
There was such a disconnect.
Yes. There was such a disconnect
between what we were seeing
in patients
and what they said the numbers are telling.
Yeah.
Are telling.
Absolutely agree. Well, look, I know It's 11:30, my lord, and so you have already had your night medication, and I'm going to go
Yes.
take mine here in a little bit, and we still got to fight and hope, and things have to fall into place, but we certainly urge the company to move forward. I mean, is that, your message? What is your message as we wait on the call Monday? What would you like to say?
Thank you, Hom,
Thank you,
for
Hom,
pursuing this
for
Yeah.
pursuing this. Thank you,
and not
Hom,
giving up
and
on
not
it.
giving up.
We've been upset at times,
We've been upset at times,
but
but
we're very anxious.
we're very anxious.
So, ALS makes you anxious.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
ALS makes you anxious.
Yes.
It darn sure does. Okay, man. Well, I'm gonna let you get going, and
Before you go.
I just.
What?
Oh, you want to say?
Before,
Please,
Okay, before you go,
please.
I want you to play this.
I want you to play this.
Mike, thank you for busting your butt
Well,
every single
All
day.
day.
And when I got to the point that I could no longer assist, thank you.
yeah,
Absolutely thank you for not giving up.
yeah. Well, it's about getting every possibility of helping people into bodies.
I want to thank
I want to thank
Michelle Lorenz,
Michelle Lorenz.
who
Absolutely,
has tireless thing.
man. Enjoy your vibe there you got going on, and
Okay.
I'll talk to you again soon. So
Thank
appreciate
you,
you.
Mike.
All right, thanks, Nancy. Talk to you guys soon. Good night. Again, I just want to be clear, that was Craig Reagan. I want to make sure that that we don't get ahead of ourselves here. But this is great news. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. It's been a long time since I've come to you like this and talked, and I've been kind of taking some time to enjoy life a little bit. Michelle's been doing such an amazing job, frankly. There really hasn't been anything for me to do at this point. The call on Monday will be interesting. And now, if the company decides to move forward, we're going to start seeing a lot more me again. We're going to move to a new format with ALS News Now, and that's kind of the second thing I want to announce is that soon, and I hope that we do get a BLA because we need it. This drug works, guys. It works. The data proves it works. If a BLA is filed, no more excuses. We'll kind of kick back into the format that you're kind of more used to early on. We're going to run this was something I was going to do anyway, but had just been waiting on some sort of news. We're going to do a weekly ALS live show, a call-in show where we can take your questions and talk about ALS. We'll talk about everything in ALS, not just one or two drugs. But as I close here tonight, I just want to remind everybody that No More Excuses was founded for one reason, but based on three separate drugs. We call on all ALS organizations, and I'll close with this, to rally behind this therapy now, to unify behind this drug, and to do whatever, to do the same things that you've done for other therapies. And I think at this point, there's no other answer. I mean, IMALS has been supportive of NurOwn from day one. ALS Association and others have not been. It's really that simple. A small biomarker grant was given, $500,000, $500,000 near the end of phase 3. Did not affect development of the drug. And I remember I was in the phase 3 trial, full disclosure. And we were wondering for a while, will this trial even finish? Now, of course, we know it did. And I just had a feeling that something was not right. This erratum that was released today does seem to explain some of these differences. And I'm going to put this for you online, right on this video, and you all please go read it. It's very interesting. Everybody above a 27, remember 27 right here, was significant, and in some cases highly significant at 0.016. Remember that the lower p-value is better. 0.05 is your goal. It's the goal of most every trial. With this revision, this error that they found, now NurOwn on paper is it's a winner, in my opinion. So please thank Michelle Lorenz for her hard work and everything she's done for us and for patients. And I'm glad you got to meet Craig. We started this group for one reason, and that's to get new drugs into bodies and to tell the truth. And then shortly after that, we changed the format to that of a watchdog group, so we could keep an eye on all these things happening in ALS. And I hope you wake up this Saturday morning and this gives you hope, because again, it's not a BLA. I want to be clear. ALS is so heterogeneous. To have an amazing therapy like this, I pray and we call on Brainstorm to file the BLA. And we ask that the entire ALS community, there's an opportunity here, by the way, guys, for groups, and I'll just say this and then I'll get out of here, but there's an opportunity here for groups that have not been supportive to get on board, to have your best interest at heart, and to unify now behind this therapy. Now is the time. It is time for the ALS community to accept this data, to ask the company to move forward, and then to do our part, whatever we determine that is. I would just ask that you not begin, sending copious amounts of letters to the FDA yet, because we look, or even maybe at all. I don't know. Michelle and a lot of people will have to sit down here and we'll figure out what the best route forward is. Obviously, Congress is going to be very interested in this as well, because they're keeping a close eye on ALS. So now is the perfect time to unify this disease and to push forward, and within a short time frame to think where we were just 3 years ago. So thank you all so much. There'll be a lot more on this. And by the way, I did turn the comments off on the post because I knew it would go just absolutely ballistic. I want to try to keep the speculation down to a minimum. Please, let's just give the company time to decide what it wants to do. And we look forward to the call on Monday. So with that said, thank you so much, guys. And thank you to everybody who is in this fight. And we very much appreciate it. See you later.
Can you come